Hell yeah. All right. I know YouTube. I don't own the rights. I don't have no goddamn rights to that music. But the band I'm going to cover today does. That was Exodus. For those who don't know, Bonded by Blood. So we will be talking a little bit about them today, of course. But here we are. Welcome back. We still got more rockin' to do, bitch. Episode 30th overall. Whew. But it's season 2, episode 5 of the new season. And, yep. 11/25/23 was the date. Mandalay Bay was the venue. Some of you may have seen the instant review I did from the Luxor, which is next door to Mandalay Bay. We were at the House of Blues Saturday night for 4 bands. And one of the things that's really cool about that was I only thought there was going to be 3 bands. So bonus band. He had that 4th bonus band, right? And I went ahead and did a real quick count on the concerts I've done this year because I write them all down, the venue and the date. And I usually tell people I go to 40 to 45 concerts a year. And Saturday night was concert 47 of the calendar year this year. So that's pretty cool. I still got a couple more concerts to go to, at least 2. So I'm at least going to hit 49. We'll see what happens. I don't know. So, and then 2024 already looks big for concerts. Before I get into the review, I want to make sure I give you a good, we still got more rockin' to do, bitch. Hopefully y'all had a nice holiday and nice holiday weekend. So, into the review, I got 4 bands to cover with a lot of songs. Starting off, at this venue, they didn't open up the upper balconies at all. So, it's pretty much a lot of people just right on the main floor and around on the bar, kind of on the bar area platforms where people were standing and watching the show. Because it's pretty much just like, it's got bars on each side, a bar in the back. You can stand around there. It's got some tables, but mostly it's a big open floor spot on the bottom level of House of Blues if you have never been there. And the first band that comes out is called Undeath from Rochester, New York. They were founded in about 2018, and the energy was pretty good. Right off the bat, they have a song called Rise from the Grave, into a song called Necrobionics, Brandish the Blade, Cramped Caskets, Acidic Twilight Visions, and Chained to a Reeking Rotting Body, and Lesions of a Different Kind. So you can kind of feel right away, we're talking fast, aggressive, hard rockin' music, fast-paced, all the titles are, it's not like Sunshine on a Happy Day kind of titles, you know what I mean? It's aggressive, fucking in your face, and for the first band, the pit was getting going pretty good. Wasn't super huge. Me being 47, I was a little hurting because my job's pretty physical. Being a massage therapist, I've got to use my body a lot. I was like, I had a big day today. I was on the floor, of course, right on the outside of the pit circle. About 2-3 people rows deep, depending on how it shifted. Would feel some of the wave every now and then, but wasn't doing any of the running. But good, high energy band, really cool guitar solos. But like I said, a real good opening band. I'd never heard of them before until this show, so hey, they did a hell of a job. Next band out was the band that I didn't know was going to be there, called Darkest Hour. They've been around since 1995. They're from Washington, D.C. So the first 2 bands, notice they're more East Coastern bands. I've heard of Darkest Hour, but I haven't listened to a whole lot of their stuff. Certain playlists that I'll listen to on YouTube may have a Darkest Hour tune sprinkled throughout, but I can't ever say I couldn't tell you what my favorite Darkest Hour album is because I haven't really sat and listened to a whole album. But they're, the same theme as the band previous. Perpetual Terminal, Sadist Nation, Stand and Receive Your Judgment, Knife in the Safe Room, Those Who Survive, The Flesh and the Flowers of Death. Song 7 was Rapture and Exile, With 1,000 Words to Say, But. And then the 9th song was called Amor Fati, Latin for translated to Love of Fate, which is probably about as nice as the show is going to get as far as music goes. It's an aggressive tune still, but you're not going to see a whole lot of songs with anything to do with the song, or a song. You're not going to see any song titles with anything to do with the word love too much throughout this show. So this one was at least Love of Fate. So it's like Love of Fate. So a little ebb and flow for you. Okay. And once again, the Pit, Darkest Hour is a little more well known. Pit got a little bigger, a little better, a little stronger. Third band out was the band that I was waiting for. Right there, Exodus, one of my favorite albums by Exodus. Probably the most famous album, called Bonded by Blood. If you haven't heard this album, just go to YouTube, Exodus, Bonded by Blood, full album, and just hit that play all and let all 9 tunes go. One of the tunes they didn't play, I'll mention later on. That is one of my favorite, if not my favorite Exodus tune. They didn't play that tune, but they had an awesome set in the list nonetheless. Sorry. They're from Richmond, California. Now, depending on which site you go to, one site would say 79, other site said 81. They've been going for a long time. They put out the first album technically in 85. They broke up in 93. Had a little reunion in 97, 98. Disbanded again until 2001, where they have released 6 albums since then. And they have a new one that's coming out September 2024, which is cool to look forward to. I really like this lineup. Gary Holt is in the band once again. So that's cool. I mentioned Gary Holt because he's also, not only was he pretty much the main guitarist of Exodus all those years, but he also played in Slayer from 2011 to 2019 until Slayer wrapped it up after the passing of Jeff Henneman. Rest in peace, Mr. Henneman, sir. And also another cool fact about Exodus is that's where the guy, Kirk Hammett, got his start from. Because he was in Exodus before they released any albums. He was there trying to make a name for them in the California Strip area, where a lot of bands were coming up in the 80s. And Kirk Hammett was the original guitarist with Exodus at first, which is kind of cool. For those who don't know, Kirk Hammett has been the guitarist for Metallica since they put out their first album in 83 with Kill 'Em All. So if you're like, oh shit, yeah, Kirk Hammett. Yeah, that Kirk Hammett. So that's why I wanted to mention those names. I'm not really going over band members a lot in this review because I have 4 bands to go over with the songs. So we're going to get right into the songs. Impact is Intimate. Second song is called REMF, which is Rear Echelon Motherfucker, which was slang used in the Vietnam War for a soldier that was always kind of trying to be in the back instead of being on the front part of the line. Like the frontliners would look at those kind of guys that are kind of trying to not be right up front and saying that REMF, man, a rear echelon motherfucker. And I guess that was what they did back in the day. The lead singer for Exodus now even explained that a little bit on stage real quick. Then they play this really cool tune called Blacklist. Then they have Fabulous Disaster, Prescribing Horror. The beatings will continue until morale improves. And then number 7 was called A Lesson in Violence. And this is when, like, because the pit had gotten bigger once Exodus started. But by song 7, this is like the prime. This is like when this is at the pit's peak, when there's the most people involved. You're seeing people getting knocked down, but people are getting helped up because if you get knocked down, you get helped up, which is cool about that. You don't get trampled. There was one big guy. I may have mentioned the big guy before from other mosh pits, but yes, the big guy was back. I actually got face to face with the big guy in the restroom and talked to him. He actually is a man. He's not a machine, but he kind of moves like a machine when he's in the pit. And the pit will be going this way. He'll stand in the middle and then start going the opposite way just to give you a fucking shoulder block. And this guy's a good size. I mean, I'm 6 foot 215, fairly solid. This guy is 6'3". I'd say about 245, 250, real solid. And he's got the cut off jean jacket with all the old school metal patches all over it and shit. He's got the old scars from all the cuts in his head like the wrestler New Jack. And he gets all jacked up on shit. And then once that shit kicks in about band 2, that's when he starts kicking in the pit and start kicking people's ass. I was watching, like I said, you got to watch that guy. You got to watch the big guy. And he was fucking some people up. He was doing it in a nice way. He'd help you back up. But he hit this one kid, and you could just see the shockwaves of his hair. It's kind of funny. I chuckled. I did, because I was in concert mode myself. So, of course, I thought it was funny. I was like, did you see that shit? He got his ass nailed. Sorry about that, man. My mouth's a little dry, plus a little something in my throat. Anyway, song number 8 was Bonded by Blood, which was the song I came in on. And like I said, that's a badass tune. It's the very first song that they released on the album Bonded by Blood. It's a badass song. It's not my 100% favorite tune, but I will go over that in a minute. Then they play a song called The Toxic Waltz. And they play Strike of the Beast. So like I said, from like song 7 to 10, the pit was just going like a motherfucker, man. It was at its best right there. So much to when we got Fit for an Autopsy in there next. It took a little bit for the pit to kind of get going again. For the first couple songs, it was a little slow. These guys are from Jersey City, New Jersey, formed back in 2008. So they've been around for a bit. Exodus and Fit for an Autopsy are doing like a co-headliner thing. So they take turns, like we'll be third one night, then you'll be third one night, and then we'll be, you know what I mean? They just go back and forth. And this was the night that Fit for an Autopsy was going to finish the show. I haven't heard much of Fit for an Autopsy except what I've listened to on YouTube. So it was kind of interesting. I want to see them live. That's when you can tell how good a band is too. If you like what they're doing live, then that's what's cool. So like I said, first couple songs, What the Future Holds and Pandora, Pit was going, but it was only a few people. You know what I mean? It slimmed down a lot. Like they were tired, that's kind of disappointing because, I mean, you guys, like, I've been pitting hard till I was about 45, 46 even, I'd say. And then since, I've done a little bit of pitting, but I've been more just being like the guy that stays on the outer edge, helps people up, keeps people on the inside, shit like that. And I'm kind of disappointed in the people because once you decide like you're going to be some of the main runners, and you know who those guys are by the time, if they're doing it in the first band and they're still going hard the third band, you got to finish, man. You got to finish strong there. You got to keep going. You got one more band, bitch. You rest in between. You drink a can of liquid death water in between, or they even start setting out cups of ice water for people at the bar for free. So you just go right up and just, thanks. You don't even, you know what I mean? Like, come on. So, whenever I was their age, because there's a lot of younger people than what I was, come on, dudes. Get your shit together. 4 bands. It's just like football. You play 4 quarters. Softball is 7 innings. You play all 7 innings, order the time limit. You play hard all that time. You don't fucking... Just like moshing. You're going to start the shit, band 1, you finish your shit. Now, for those who were just a temporary mosh, really be like, I'm going to get in on this song and this song here, and I can't give them a little slack. But the dudes are main runners. You know who the fuck you are. You got to finish. I mean, Fit for an Autopsy's got to be like, God damn, they were pitting hard for the other three bands for the headliner. They shit on us. You know what I mean? That's what they're thinking. So, but once they played the song Hellions up third, then the pit kind of got rolling again. And then it kind of went back down again for Warfare and Hydra and Iron Moon. And then once the higher level of Hate came on, then it was back to the shit. The Sea of Tragic Beast kept it going pretty good. Your Pain Is Mine. Far From Heaven. You can tell people are like, they're getting tired. But then they're like, we're going to do one more tune. It's called 2 Towers. And this song is about your past self, your future self, and about how the forces about the forces that pull those two and separate those two from each other. And how you can kind of think, you kind of think maybe some stupid shit you did in the past. You're like, what the fuck was I thinking? And what the fuck was I saying? And then you want to think about how your future self, and you want to be better than that and say smarter shit. Shit like that. And like I said, the song is called 2 Towers. That's how they finished the show. So the pit remained strong throughout the rest of that part. But for the most part, the pit there was great energy and shit. I'd give them an 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, I've been in pits where you got the dudes and the ladies that are started. They're the ones at the end finishing too. But I'd give this one 8.5, which is that's a B in school. So, hey, it's all right. We did it. It was good. It was a fun show. It was a great time. We had a really good time. At least I did anyway. I had a blast. On my wish list, though, I would, if I could have talked to Exodus mainly, because that was the band I knew the most of, I would have told them to play Deliver Us to Evil. And Then There Were None, which is my favorite. Probably I'd say my top 3 Exodus tunes, if not my top 1. So I like that one a lot. But they had their set list, and that's what they played. That's just how it goes. I just got to live with that shit. So we're going to go to see probably Burning Witches here, December 7th, I think. I haven't bought the tickets yet. But I've been thinking about going to see those ladies because I've heard they rocked live. I've heard some of their studio stuff. They rock. I'd like to see a live show with them. It's all female band, kind of on the evil side. I mean, it's called Burning Witches. Probably a little fake stage blood. A lot of black leather outfits, type of stuff. Cool, And that's pretty much all we're going to do for the review today. Like I said, hopefully everybody's cool. Get some shopping done for the holidays or whatever you celebrate. And just try to be good to each other. I'll talk to y'all next Tuesday. Thank you very much. Keep rocking. Keep spreading this word of rock and roll. Remember that we're the rebel genre nowadays. They got the country that's more pop country and jerk off. And rap is crap not to see. But rock gives you a big cock. And I'll talk to y'all later. Stay cool, stay classy. Night night. Keep that ball tight.